Hey y'all, hey, this is Osuntola, the Enchantress. Let's Conjure Ifakunle. We are in Etheric Touch Soul Care Level 1, and this is the Qigong class. We added Qigong to this, to the Soul Care, so that you will learn to be able to generate energy from the earth, vitalize your own organs. Yes, bringing energy from the universe to keep you more high vibrated, lively, for vitality, strength, for all systems of the body, not just the physical. Qigong is a very beautiful exercise, indigenous exercise that only requires gentle movements. So it is a really good form of exercise and energy work for people of all ages. Children as young as 2 will follow you, and of course our elders can do these exercises as well, without feeling over exerted.
Yeah, will work. Yeah, and Qigong is about Qigong is about pulling energy in to nourish like the organs. Like health is built from the inside out. Like beauty can be on the outside, but if the inside is not that, you know what I mean, then it's gonna catch up to you. So this is how we exercise the internal organs within the body as well, keeping those healthy, which is most important. Yeah.
Qigong as an ancient art. Qigong is an ancient art and science of healthcare and energy management that has been practiced continuously in China for over 5,000 years. Formerly, it was reserved exclusively for members of the imperial family and aristocracy as a secret practice for preserving health and prolonging life. For the most advanced adepts of the Taoist and Buddhist sects, Qigong was a means of attaining spiritual immortality.
Yeah, and the reason that is because it's understood, they understand and understood that we are spiritual beings. And so the more energy that we bring into our body, the more that we are empowering our immortal or spiritual aspect of who we are, because that's the next body. The next body is the energy body, the immortal body. So the more energy that we can pull into that body, the more we are preparing that body for its immortality. Because remember, we are dual beings. We're not just the physical being. We're the spiritual being too. And this is the spiritual being that we use at night when we dream, when we venture off into this spirit world. We're using that spirit body. So this is a way to energize that body, because when this physical body deteriorates and make its way back to the earth, we have did the work that needed to be done to prepare the next body.
Yes.
Which is the spiritual one.
One of the things I did also want to notate is how ancient this practice is. It is known to have been practiced in China for over 5,000 years, but it can be dated back to African cultures as far back as the Kemet and ancient Kemet and such things like that. And so at those times, you actually had to be a part of the imperial family, meaning you were part of the kingdom's upper class,
secret
society, or aristocracy, or secret societies, to be able to even understand and learn these exercises. And so now we are able to practice these in our own lives. We have access to this information. So even though, and one of the other things I want to make sure I touch on is that the people who resided in Africa migrated well before the transatlantic, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I love
slave trade.
Thank you. Slave trade. They have migrated the entire planet. And so a lot of the practices that we see other cultures practicing began with people that look like you and me.
It's not a lot. It's pretty much all of them. Like when it comes to spiritual traditions, spiritual practices, things like that. Africa is the motherland. They don't call it the motherland for no reason.
Right.
Like all things were birthed out of Africa that we see taking place on this planet as it relates to spiritual cultivation and well-being. Like Africa produced all of that knowledge.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so they understood that by using these practices, you were able to harness more vital life force energy. And that is what is preserving your life, preserving your health, and prolonging your life, because you're bringing more energy into yourself with these practices.
Yeah, and energy is life. Like we're talking about the life force principle that sustains and gives everything its life. So the more of that we bring into our being, this is how we create longevity for ourselves, because this body runs off energy.
Yes. Yes. Oops. Okay. Why Qigong? People who exercise a lot and whose bodies are externally strong are not necessarily healthier or happier than the average person. In order to have true good health, you must have a healthy body and mind, and smooth and balanced Qi circulation.
And that's what I was saying earlier about the car could be looking good, but if the motor about to blow, you know what I'm saying? The car can look as good as it wants to, but here in the West, in America, people are more focused on the car, the external. Getting that beautiful, like hitting the gym hard and exercising vigorously. But in most cases, people don't understand the damage that does to the internal organs of the body, putting more stress on the heart or more stress on just the body in general, without bringing the energy in that's necessary for these organs to be strong enough for you to exercise in that way. It's like first things first, like before you hit that gym, you want to make sure your heart is good. Like you want to make sure your kidneys, like the internal is well. And what makes the internal well is energy. Bringing in, like knowing how to get more energy into the body so these organs can work at their capacity. And when these organs are working at their capacity, then you can exert more on the body, because the internal is ready for it. It's just like the motor in the car. You want it to be ready for when you hit that gas pedal. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same concept.
According to Chinese medicine, many illnesses are caused by imbalances in your mind. For example, if you're worried or nervous, that can upset the stomach and harm the spleen. Fear can hinder the normal functioning of the kidneys and bladder. So true good health is both external and internal. If you have a desire to gain real true health, you must cultivate your character internally and strengthen your body internally and externally.
Yeah, you got to incorporate the entire being. Like you can hit the gym all you want to, but if your mind is not right, if your emotions are not right, I don't care what you're doing in that gym, you're still setting yourself up for a heart attack, or you know what I mean, or something like that. And so because if certain organs are weak within the body, then that produce effect within our overall physical performance. So we have to understand how we feel and how that affects us. Like the slide say, like if you're dealing with fear, then that's going to impact your kidneys. Like, you know, when a dog is, and even humans, like when something extremely fearful happens, they might pee on themselves because that energy directly affects the kidneys. Or when a person is is sad, that affects the lungs. Or when a person is depressed, that affects the digestive system. That's why a person that's depressed or sad, they don't want to eat. You know what I mean? Because it directly impact that area of the body. So like these are the things that we have to understand about, like what it means to be healthy and what impact our emotions and the way we think and the way we feel, what role that plays in our overall health, so we can put it together in a holistic way and truly find health.
Yes, absolutely. Everything that he just said, it is a balance. It's a balance. We can't overlook one thing and think the other thing is not going to malfunction in some kind of way. We have to learn to live our lives holistically. So this is this is one of the ways that we live holistically. When we are constantly aware of and working to heal both our external and our internal, that's what balance is. And that's what we like true health comes from.
Yeah, because
balance.
Because anything else will be an extreme. And
anything else is an
like this is what we see, like just for an example, the gym, and people just being in the gym constantly. Like this is like the extremes that we talking about. Like you're at that extreme of thinking like this is what it only takes to be healthy. Let me go jump on this treadmill lift these weights, like all of this, but then you neglect what has to happen in the internal aspect of who it is you are. Like, how do I get healthy on the inside? Because both of these things have to be happening simultaneously.
Yes.
And so if they're not happening simultaneously, then all you're doing is putting yourself more at an imbalance. And then all diseases come from being in a state of imbalance.
Yes, absolutely.
So it goes together.
Goes together. People reside within Qi, and Qi resides within people. From heaven and earth down to the 10,000 things, each one requires Qi to live. So at the end of the day, we all need Qi. We are Qi, therefore we need Qi. You know what I'm saying? And so every time we are practicing Qi-Gong, what we are doing is utilizing the energy, utilizing the life force of the universe, which we are composed of.
Yeah, like we are composed of energy. We all know that.
One of the things that most of us are not aware of is that during our day-to-day interactions, we are constantly dispelling Qi. We're using it. We're working. We're using our Qi. And the majority of us do not understand what it takes to rejuvenate
replenish it.
To replenish it, yes.
And so if we don't replenish that Qi, then what the body is going to begin to deteriorate in some kind of way. And this is what sickness is.
But if we, on the other side, cultivate an abundance of Qi, then in that abundance, we are vital. And our life force is vital.
And so the things that we carry out during the day, like even if we do find ourselves depleted, we know how to get that energy back versus not knowing how to get the energy back. Like we can recharge ourselves. Like everything has to be recharged. This computer, your phone, you know what I mean? Like things need to be recharged. So we know how to recharge. We need to understand how to recharge ourselves, because most people don't. We just deplete ourselves.
Correct.
Until death or sickness comes.
Yes. And then we panic because one of those things happen. And then from that panic, we put ourselves in even more distress.
Stress
causes depletion.
Yeah, and we were just kind of talking about the kind of damage that stress does. Like when you find yourself and all of these different emotions, what type of impact that has on the organs and your overall health.
Yes. Western culture versus Eastern culture. The emphasis on the spiritual life rather than the material is one of the major differences between Eastern and Western cultures. An example of this is in the maintenance of health. The West emphasizes the physical body. The East treats a person's spiritual and mental health.
And we see this in the way that the difference between the Eastern and the Western culture. The West are bullies. The West are it's macho. Look at how much muscle I got. You know what I mean? Like when you get to the Eastern side of the planet, like this is when you come, like you begin to hear about more of the meditation and the spiritual practices of the people there. Like you hear that in the East, but in the West, it's macho. And so like this is the culture. America is a macho. Yeah, like it operates in a macho culture. It bullies the world. Look at my muscles. Look how powerful I am. It bullies the whole world in that kind of way. Like this is the culture here. And so, but this culture, look how much destruction that it is bringing, how much America is the sickest place on this planet.
Facts.
America is the sickest place on this planet because of this lifestyle. You know what I mean? So this is what we have to begin to, we do need to be physically strong, but we need to be just as equally spiritually strong at the same. Like we need to understand that too. We need to understand what they understand in the East, so we can combine it with the way we live here in the West. Like the two must become one.
The two must become one.
Physically and spiritually strong.
Absolutely.
But the spiritual in the West mainly gets rejected. It gets rejected. We just want to know how to bully and get out here and beat somebody down to get what we want. Like that's what we do in the West.
Nature's Qi. Qigong is a way of balancing, regenerating, and storing Qi, life force within the body. Qi is the energy or the natural force which fills the universe. Heaven Qi, the sky or the universe, is made up of forces where heavenly bodies exert on the earth, such as sun and moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
Each individual person, animal, and plant has its own Qi field, earth Qi, which always seeks balance. And then when an individual loses their Qi balance, they will weaken, sicken, die, and decompose.
So in other words, like we have to make sure that we are nourishing ourselves from both realms, heavenly and earthly, because we are composed of them both. But we are just so focused on the earth. Like it's an extreme now. But we have to understand how to balance ourselves out and receive from both realms, the heaven and the earth, because it's the union of the two that we all exist. Like this is why we exist, from that union. So we have to, and what Qigong, and we talking about energy and life force, energy, like we were talking about that spiritual component of who it is that we are, that animates and give this being is life. Like we need to be abundant in that. Like, yeah, we need the body to be healthy, but the thing about that, it's the energy that makes the body healthy.
Yes.
It's the energy that makes the body healthy. It's not the muscle. It's not the muscle. It's the buildup of the chi within one's being.
Qigong is also a beautiful practice
The life.
to me, because just like Conjure was saying about the differences between the West and the East, with the East, with Qigong, everything is more about gentle strength.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gentle strength is not so much that I have to be aggressive or even assertive with the movements, with the exercises. It's really to put you back into a state of equilibrium and peace within yourself. So by now you've already started meditation, and you can see what happens when you are able to quiet your mind and calm yourself. You know, the same thing applies with Qigong. It allows movement. Some people have some people will look at Qigong as a meditation in itself.
It is a meditation
because of the focused movements, focused gentle movements of the practice. And so, you know, our own, like, it's again, and you probably hear us say this several times in the class, it is up to us to save ourselves. We have our own personal chi field.
Yeah.
Our own personal chi field that is up to us to keep cultivated and regenerated.
To work with, to transform it. You know what I mean? And when we're talking about life force, like this is what true power is, because we're all spiritual beings having a human experience.
And when we're talking about life force, we're talking about an abundance.
Yeah.
So it's not that you can take more than what you need. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be selfish with it necessarily, or vain with it. It's here for everybody to have access to.
Yeah.
We all have access to it. We all can feel it. We all can harness it. We all can be conduits of it.
Yeah, and so like we talking about a buildup of so much life force energy, you shoot off flying through the sky because you got so much life force energy surging through your body like Superman. Like superhuman abilities because of the amount of life that you're harnessing within your being. Like this is what gives the superhuman abilities, the sight beyond sight, the ability to hear 20 miles away, or just all these what we look at like as superhuman abilities that we see animals in the wild doing. Like I was watching a documentary when they were saying a bear can smell you from 20 miles away. You tell me that's not a superpower. That's a superpower. Like these are the things that, like, this is what we mean. Like the more of this energy that we bring into our beings and are able to harness it, it increases everything about who it is that we are.
Correct. And so if we consider ourselves to be healers, specifically in energy work, it is to our benefit to practice Qigong on a regular basis in order to harness more energy. So when you are doing your energy work, the person who's laying in front of you will be able to feel you. You know what I'm saying? More greatly. It'll be a more intense session with the more energy you harness. It becomes a less intense session with the decrease in energy that you harness.
And so the goal is to get as much energy in your body, in your being as you can, whether it's coming from eating live foods. Like we want to eat foods that got life in it, so the body can extract that energy out of it during the digestive process, adding it to our vitality. Like it's an earthly and a heavenly thing. Getting outside, doing deep breathing, because that's the #1 way of bringing energy into the body. So getting outside, doing that to get that heavenly energy, and then you're hitting both aspects in both realms that we gotta hit to achieve true health.
Yes. And let me just reiterate that Stardust that you heard about in the first class, that's what we're talking about. Is exactly what we're talking about right now. We're talking
Stardust
about
energy,
life force energy, star force.
Yes. Stardust.
Thank you. Stardust energy, the dust that comes from the cosmos.
Yeah, and we know that because it's our sun, which is only a star that shines down on this earth and gives everything its life is. So, you know, we're talking about star energy that we're utilizing on this planet. Like, this is the life of this planet, is the sun, the star that governs us. And we are able to bask in the energy of it. So this is star energy we're talking about, absorbing that. And because things on earth absorb that, things on earth live. And the more that we are able to stay absorbing that energy, this is what gives us longevity on into immortality. Because as long as we're bringing an abundance of energy into our being, this is what extends our life.
All natural things, including humans, grow within and are influenced by the natural cycles of heaven chi and earth chi. Chi is the source of life. Yeah. Understanding how chi functions and how to regulate it correctly will allow you to live a long, healthy life. Because you are a part of nature, you experience nature's cycles. Going against this natural cycle may manifest as sickness. Following the ways of nature will result in optimum health.
Yeah, so all this slide is just talking about, like, we have to follow the way of nature. And the way of nature is that the life force of the sun gives everything its vitality and its life experience here. Like, we need that energy within our being. So the question is, how do I get more of this energy of the sun into my body? Like, you can get it through food, you can get it from being out in the sun, you can get it from breathing, like taking those deep breaths while you're in nature. Like, there's many different ways to get this energy into our body, but that's always the goal. The goal is, how can I get more of this life force in my being? And then our behavior, you know, is what's the word I'm looking for? Like, our behavior is a reflection of us knowing that truth about this energy that we need to get into our being, so we can have longevity here, that we don't have to die young, and we don't have to be sick, and we don't have to suffer from lack of energy, because that's where all suffering comes from. It's from a lack of energy.
Let me just give an example. So we all know the 4 seasons: spring, summer, winter, fall, right? Now, and ancient times, they had to follow the seasons. So as particular times of the year, they were able to grow certain foods, and other particular times of the year, they were not able to grow certain foods, and they had to prepare for that. Well, now in our society, we rarely stay aligned with what's going on in nature.
That's
for
true.
Example,
that's true.
In the summertime, we can still eat Thanksgiving like dinners, those deep, hearty, warm type dinners, when we're supposed to be eating lightly. Why are we supposed to eat lightly? Well, because we're able to harness the sun more easily when we're lighter. We're able to take in more energy when we're lighter. And if the sun is out longer, you don't need as much food to keep you warm or keep you vital to make it through the seasons.
Yeah, because that's when the sun is closer to the earth, and that's what you're supposed to be mainly feeding off then.
Correct.
It's
You're
energy.
supposed to be eating the lighter foods. You know, the fruits.
Yeah, the vegetables. Veggies.
This is the time for that, so that you can soak in more of the energy of nature's chi. On the opposite end, in the wintertime, we hardly ever see people really fasting during that time or anything like that. We're just continuously eating, and that also blocks the chi. You know what I'm saying? So we do certain things understanding the cycles of nature that we live in. And in some ancient indigenous cultures, this is how they were able to maintain their health or even overcome different diseases and illnesses in their life, because they would eat food that was based on the area that they lived in, and based off the seasons.
Eat according to the seasons,
of time that they were in.
So during the summer, like she said, you would want to eat lighter, cool, less heavy. Like, you can eat a little more healthier, because it's about kind of like retaining. Then it's the winter season. It's cold outside. You know what I mean? Like, we have to operate in the same kind of way that nature do.
Most of the time when we are seeing people transitioning into being vegetarians, pescatarians, or even vegans or raw foodists, it's because they have an awareness of how chi is moving through them, and they want to be able to harness more of that energy without blockages being formed
from the heavier foods.
If you do eat heavier foods, the more fasting needs to come with eating those heavier foods in order for the energy to continue to be able to flow and you to have less blockages, thus being able to have optimum health.
Yes.
The benefits of Qi-Gong. Understanding Jing, which is the essence, Qi, internal energy, and Shen, spirit, is one of the most important requirements for effective Qigong training.
Now, understand Jing, once again, just showing you how all of this ties in. When they say the word Jing, they're talking about life force or sexual energy, which is the base level of life force energy, because we know that sexual energy becomes what? It becomes life force energy. So that's what Shen is, or spirit energy. And then the next step for this life force energy is the what's the last one? What is it?
You said Jing. It's Jing, Qi, and then Shen.
Yeah, my fault. Qi, which is life force energy. Let me say that again. So Jin is sexual energy. The Qi is the life force energy. The spirit, and Shen is the spiritual energy. Yes. So this is all still working with that energy. So we have to take the base of that energy, which is sexual energy, and learn how to use that energy to bring more Qi or life force into our being. And then we take that new energy or that extra energy we have within our being, and we use that energy within our transformation on our journey to become spiritual beings again. And so, but it all starts with bringing an abundant amount of this energy into your life, because the greater of that energy that you have within your being, the greater your transformation is going to be, or the more energy or force or vitality that you're going to have to complete your destiny, like what you are here to do. In other words, who you are here to truly become, this journey that we are on as a people to become spiritual beings again. This is the energy that we use. So we have to have this in our being and abundance, because that's what we're utilizing in this transformation. So we don't want to be depleted in it, because if we're depleted in this life force energy, the less chances that you're going to complete that journey.
He just basically explained the whole slide, so I'm going to go ahead and just slide on by. Qigong and the blood. Chinese Medical Society believes that Qi and the blood are closely related. They say where Qi goes, the blood follows. As a matter of fact, it is believed that Qi provides the energy for blood cells for blood cells to keep you alive. It is also stated that blood stores Qi and helps to transport air Qi to every cell of the body. So what lies in the blood? DNA, which connects you to whom? Your ancestors. So what does that say about Qigong and your blood in relation to your ancestors?
And so what that's saying is that the more energy that you're bringing into your being, and this energy is what
sensitizes you
or energizes our DNA or activates our DNA. The more energy that we have in our being, activating that DNA, and that kind of way, the stronger the connection that we will have with our ancestors. Correct. Because our ancestors live within our DNA.
Correct.
If you are depleted with energy within your DNA, then you ain't hearing, like you're not connected to your ancestors like that.
If your blood is stopped up, if it can't flow freely, if it's having blockages here, there, and everywhere.
Our ancestors live in our genetics, within our DNA.
Is weakened.
So the connection is a weak connection that you are having with your own self. The less energy that you are that we have within our being, that shows you how less of a connection that you have with your true self. But the more energy you have within yourselves, within your DNA, the greater we know ourselves, because these things become more active and revealing in our life.
Right.
And so this is extremely important, because if you out of energy, sick, and you're dying, like, how is that a connection, to your ancestors? You know what I'm saying? Or just to yourself on a cellular level, because if you was connected with yourself and you understood yourself from that cellular level, then you will understand that what the cells need is energy. Mm-hmm. And so because you don't understand that, you're moving closer to death versus moving closer to life. So we have to get energy into our cells in whatever way that we can, whether it's your food, whether it's water, whether it's your fresh air, like the ways that we bring energy into our being, like this is what we have to do. So we can be the ancestors' return. And so they can truly awaken in us, because how can the cells and the DNA within our body go through the mutations that it needs to go through if the energy is not there for that to happen? How can we go through the transformation that we are here to have if the energy is not there for that transformation to happen? And so if you want to barely change in this lifetime, then deal with barely any energy. But if you want to have a great change in this lifetime, a great transformation in this lifetime, that comes with energy, that comes with life force, that comes with stardust.
Yes. Dantian. Dantian is translated as elixir field. Dantian are certain points or locations of the body where energy can be stored and reserved when more energy is needed to maintain health. The lower Dantian, Qi's ocean, aka the wellspring, is located 1 to 2.5 inches below your navel, some centimeters, I'm sure. The middle Dantian is located at the heart, and the upper Dantian is located in the medulla oblongata or in the Akashic record.
And so this is all saying our ancestors knew that there was certain places within our being that they could store energy. Like you might don't, like sometimes you don't have to exert a lot of energy. Like you might find yourself in that place in your life, but you can still be working with, you know, bringing energy into your body, because it's different areas within our temple that we can store that energy for the future uses of it. You know what I mean? Because you might don't need it. Like you might be a place in your life that's
But
very you good and you just, but things can happen at any time. So when things, like, you know what I mean, like you got the energy to do what you need to do, like you're not in a weakened place, like you're in a reserve, so you're ready
just
for whatever life brings your way.
Just imagine having to get ready for a energy work session with somebody, and you do the work on a regular basis, but not today. Okay, just didn't have the time or feel up to it today. So when you're doing the work, you storing it in your navel for later use allows for you to tap into that when it's time to do your sessions. So now instead of using your own personal energy, you're using the energy that you stored, the abundance, the surplus, the overflow, to be able to do the energy work for that session. And so therefore you're not depleting yourself. And so these are the centers, and I think it was really awesome the way they made it on this meme, because it shows like the universe at the womb area. We all know as women, the womb is our own universe. You know, the heart, the stars at the like stardust at the heart, and then sun energy in the mind. I just thought that was a really dope way to show you where energy is stored at
within the body. So yeah.
Qi is neither yin or yang. Qi is neither yin or yang. It is not hot or cold, male or female, fire or water, or positive and negative. Qi is energy. Energy itself does not have yin and yang. It only is the force or the spark that is at the core of all life.
Like where yin and yang comes from, like us as humans, is the way that we decide to use this energy. You know what I mean? Like the spirit in us is not innately evil. You know what I mean? Or it's not innately good. It's just the spirit. It's what we use this energy for. It's what we use this energy for. Like we can use it for either or, but we know that originally, like, this energy is one. This is why God say, I am. That's all you need to know. I am. And this is that energy. It's a I am presence within our being, but we use this energy for what we look at as either good or bad. But it's not the energy that's good or bad. It's the person's intentions that is utilizing the energy. In the same way, you can use electricity to power a house and allow everything within that house to operate, and then that's a good thing. But you can use that same electricity and you can shock somebody to death. But the electricity ain't either good or bad. It's just how it's being used. In other words.
Exactly. Qigong and healing ourselves and others. Understanding how to bring pure Qi into our bodies explains how a person can heal themselves and others using energy. The average person can only move a limited amount of Qi through their body, which brings small amounts of healing. However, some people, like Qigong practitioners, can move abundant amounts of energy through their bodies and can affect another person's Qi
greatly.
If they can determine the status of a person's Qi throughout their body, they can supply energy to the area that is low in energy and withdraw excessive energy from areas that are oversupplied, bringing the body back into a state of balance.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what we're talking about. The more this energy that we have within our being, the greater things that we would do in this lifetime. Because the things that we have to do in this lifetime require what? Energy. And so if you're lacking in energy, then you're not going to have what it takes to complete something that you will that you could complete if you had the energy to complete it.
Yes.
So the more energy that you have, the more you are able to do. The less energy that you have, the less you are able to do. And so I want to do more. Like I want to have an abundant amount of energy within my lifetime because of, you know, the things that come up in life. Like I want to be able to overcome and take on the challenges and just do what I need to do. If I'm lacking that, I can't do nothing. I can get to even get up out of the bed because for it. So if you can't even get out the bed because you don't have the energy for it, how are you going to accomplish anything? So you're definitely not going to accomplish anything great. But if you can wake up in your day and you're full of energy and you're full of life, like that's going to activate other things like the energy of inspiration. That's an energy. Like you can be very highly inspired, or you can not really have it at all. But if you are highly inspired, think of the things that you can do in that day because you have an abundant amount of that energy of inspiration. Think of how much you can accomplish, and not just inspiration, all the different emotions and ways that we feel that cause us to do certain things. These are energies. So anything that you want to accomplish great in your life, in your lifetime, are going to require energy. Even the simple things, being a parent, like anything that you name, anything that's done on this earth requires energy. And how great or how less of great you do this is going to be a response to the, you know, your energy level or how much energy that you are working with in this life.
One of the things that I think is really interesting is how this is really all focused on you and what you are willing to do for yourself.
Yeah.
From your own internal, external, Qigong, sacred healing journey, healing practices, you will start over time to understand your own personal body.
Yeah.
You will understand within yourself what areas of your body needs more energy and which areas of your body has less. Because you know that about yourself, when you encounter somebody else, you're able to read that on them as well. And that's what makes a good energy worker, is the ability to be able to recognize how that energy is moving between, you know, and spaces and environments with people. Specifically, if we're talking about doing energy work for them. We should know, have an idea how to move energy, harness direct energy, be the conduit of energy. But that can only really truly happen when we are the conduit of energy within ourselves first. And then we can actually be of more benefit to those around us.
And so, in other words, the more energy that we have in our being, the greater being that we are becoming, or we have the opportunity to become. Because everything takes energy to accomplish.
Everything.
The absence of energy is death. So the abundance of energy can't mean nothing but immortality. This is how we reach immortality. Energy.
When you practice Qigong, you build up your Qi in your body. In order to build up circulation, you must build up Qi and create what is called Qi potential. When there are imbalances within the body, Qi will flow from the area of higher potential to the area of lower potential, thereby increasing circulation. This will also clear up blockages that hinder the flow of Qi. Ways to build Qi: physical stimulation, mental stimulation, and energizing the spirit.
And so what this is saying, like, it can be things going on with you and you don't understand what's going on with you, but let's say you don't know what's going on with your body, like this slide is slammed, but it's saying at the same time, in that process of you're still gathering energy, like the fact that you have an abundance of energy, whatever imbalances are within that body, that energy is going to naturally go there to correct whatever is going wrong within the body. The energy is naturally going to go there to make those corrections, because the more energy that we have within our body, within our cells, the more the cells can do the things that needs to be done to correct the things that are going wrong, because our body naturally does that anyway. Cut yourself and then watch yourself heal. Cut yourself and watch yourself heal. The only thing that we need is the energy for these things to happen. And this is why when the immune system is compromised, or the person is dealing with some type of energy deficiency, that it takes longer for things to heal. But it don't have to take longer. If you got the energy there that's needed for things to be rejuvenated or heal when certain things happen, then the energy is going to naturally go there to do that. And so we want to stay in that vibration of steady bringing more energy and more energy into our body, so the things that are going wrong within us can be corrected, because whatever needs to be corrected is going to need energy to correct that.
I think it's really interesting. Like this to me is almost an upgrade from healing hands, right? Where healing hands, you have to kind of be stationary and be sitting to have the energy flow to the area of the body that you're looking to increase energy in. With Qigong, the practice of Qigong is naturally allowing energy to flow in you, so that when you are starting to lose the potential, you have other potential stored to be able to increase the circulation and flow up to that body. So the continuous practice, just like exercise, just like meditation, the practice of Qigong helps you to be able to balance your internal systems without having to be still. Without having to be still, it's going to naturally build up certain things. It's going to naturally build up physical stimulation. If you have been practicing Qigong up to this point, you notice that you have more energy now than you have before. Like you just don't want to sit down. You have more, resilience.
Everything becomes greater. Everything becomes greater.
You're able to deal with things more.
Your mind becomes stronger.
Stimulated.
Everything becomes greater. The more energy you have, the greater things become.
And Qigong is one of those things that naturally will sensitize you to spirit more because you are increasing your energy intake.
It's the number one. It's one of the number one ways to bring energy into the body, vitality, life force into the body, for longevity leading into immortality. All of that is going to require energy.
Relaxation is one of the major keys to success in Qigong. Now, you don't normally hear this in exercise. Relaxation is one of the major keys to success in Qigong. Only when you are relaxed can you fully channel in energy. Once you relax the mind, the body will follow naturally.
And the reason why that is because when you relax the body, you become soft. You don't want the body to be hard because it's going to make it more difficult for energy to enter into it. So we have to enter into those extreme relaxation points so the energy can pour into us without being disrupted, or without not being able to. You know what I mean? Because you're so hard, energy can't get into you. Like think of the winter, like you're so hard, the energy can't get into you. But when you soften up, you begin to thaw out. Now the energy can enter into you in a much greater way. Relaxation.
Remember, again, this exercise is a gentle exercise. This exercise, Qigong, is one of the gentle and graceful exercises that, believe it or not, will strengthen you physically as well as mentally and spiritually. Like you can gain strength from the practice of Qigong. You can gain more strength with the practice of Tai Chi. It does not have to be a rigorous exercise for you to gain.
It needs to be a balance.
Results.
It needs to be a balance. This is how you gain maximum results from it being a balance. Like you see the Tai Chi masters or the Kung Fu masters, they build up that Chi and knock somebody all the way across the field somewhere from a kick or a punch. That's that Chi build up.
The thing with Qigong is proper breathing plays a major part in relaxing the mind as well as the body. In order to bring Qi in, you have to be able to breathe. Like meditation is key. Breathing is key.
The breath
work is key.
The breath is the number one way to bring energy into your body. Go outside and breathe deeply. Bring that energy in. Sit longer and longer. You can only do 5 minutes, but keep building that up, because what you are actually doing is, as you build it up, you are building your own energy up because you're doing it more. You're able to bring more and more of that energy in, increasing your vitality, increasing your life force, giving you longevity. So the breath is the number one way to get this life force in your body. Go take a nice walk through a nature trail somewhere and breathe deeply and bring all of the energy of the heavens and also nature, the trees and all of that. At the same time, bring this energy into your body.
One of the things that I also just want to note with him saying that is that Qigong can be done anywhere, but it's best suited to do outside in nature.
Yeah.
So that you can literally, physically feel the energy, literally, physically see the energy,
be in the environment.
You know what I'm saying? Like doing it outside in nature. And this goes for like yoga and Tai Chi as well. But when you do it out in nature, you're able to feel the effects
because
of the
you're in the elements
and the earthly Chi to its capacity.
Because you're in the elements. So like I say, like how beneficial a walk is. And just because you got breathing meditation, you got walking Qi-Gongs, like you got different ways that this can look. but the goal is to get the energy into your body. Go take a nice walk somewhere, a focused walk of knowing that with each breath you're bringing more life force into your being. Go take that beautiful walk and gather that energy, because we have to have it.
Benefits of Qigong: it strengthens the organs,
all of that.
It increases personal power, it improves your brain, protects your heart, prevents injuries, helps the body to relax, it balances emotions, it aids in meditation, weight loss, good sleep, helps eliminate toxins, it gives you a better attitude, improves relationships, and much more.
It goes on and on. It impacts everything.
Feel your Qi. So this is the first part of the Qigong classes. What we are going to do is tape the actual exercises on a separate video that will be sent to you as part of this course. But we definitely want you to be able to feel your own Qi. So again, once you see those exercises, begin practicing them.
Simple exercises.
Simple, easy exercises. It will not be strenuous in any way, shape, or form, but you are able to feel and connect with energy with these simple exercises. So please just check your email this week for the actual video of the class. Thank you so much for any questions, comments, feedback, or experiences you want to share with us. You are more than welcome to do so. The Etheric Touch Healing System for Students Only Facebook group. And thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Peace. Y'all.
You going off?